Hi, I wanted to do a video for 7 months of being off-grid. The yard has gotten cleaned up again and everything's good. The new cable got broken and so I've got to try to get another cable or see what I can do about getting another cable, but I do have an internet cable at the moment. I just threw some fabric up there to kind of liven it up a little bit. It has still been like pretty cloudy and rainy. Like as you can see, it's not really like full sun. We actually did have full sun for most of the day, and so the battery, you know, it's part way up, so it's not completely down, but most of the days it's been completely down. And things kind of, the domino effect has been in play here a lot. When I took the switch and turned the light on outside, it keeps popping the fuse. And so there is a short in there, and so it's going to be repaired eventually, and the outlet's out just because we're going to have the short in the wire repaired. And then I had like a leak, believe it or not, after having the roof completely redone before I moved in. The guy that did the roof, he was like the first repairman. That's who I had Rick come pick the trailer up from, because Rick finished the work. But the guy who did the first part of the work did the roof. And he missed a part. He missed a vent that's like up above the refrigerator. So because this cupboard comes in, you can't really see like any sign of any leak if you check, you know, after the rain. But what had happened is down here in these cupboards, it got completely soaked, and that some of the stuff is going to have to come out, like that board there that has the black on it is going to have to come out, and is actually drying up pretty well. But what it was doing, I don't know if you can see on the video, but the wall between the cupboards that is underneath the refrigerator, it was coming down like the side of the refrigerator. And so it was filling up this whole cabinet area and filling up this whole cabinet area there. And then it got under the couch, it came out and went into my carpet, the blue carpet that I had. It came into that. We pulled up the floor, and as you can see, the floor is a very light color wood. It has no discoloring, and it was dry under the floor, because I was going to have the entire linoleum pulled up, because, you know, if water got under here, then it would just create a mold situation. And so I wanted to pull it up before it would, you know, start to do that so it could dry. But as it turns out, this linoleum is glued down, and so that's what was underneath, nice clean wood. So we didn't go any further. We stopped like right here. So under the couch, though, the supports under the couch, which you can't see now because there's a board there, but the board was taken out under the couch, and the carpet was all removed. So I had like blue carpet like that all in here, you know, up until about where my foot is there, all the way along here. There was blue carpet all the way up to where you see like the nail holes here. So there was, all across here, there was carpet in the whole living room. The living room was carpeted with the blue. So that was all removed. And I had, the guy threw it out the door, but he didn't throw it away. And 3 days later, I had somebody pick it up and throw it in the trash bin. And the yard had not been mowed at that time, so it was all green weeds, except for where the carpet was. It was complete, utter, like, just like a mold circle where the carpet had lain on the grass. So it's a good thing I got that out of there. I mean, it was just really gross. And then it did smell in here, and that's why I was really worried. I didn't want to, you know, have a mold problem, because, you know, it's just really bad. And so I had the supports taken out from underneath the couch. There were like metal things, and then they had wood underneath them. So I had all the wood removed and replaced under those supports. And the leftover padding that was stuck to it, that really smelled. It came out today, and it really smelled. So, I mean, it took care of the whole problem, and everything's fresh under there now. And my shoes that were stored under there, I took them out, and they didn't get damaged, but the bags that they were in, the plastic bags, they really didn't smell right. And so I took all the plastic out. I put new plastic bags on the shoes, and I got some tubs, some storage tubs like the ones that I have out back already. And I put them all in new plastic bags. And so I had help yesterday organizing the storage tent, because it was never right again. I could never get at anything again after I moved. So I had the winter clothes put on top, and the stuff that I never really touched but can't part with put on the bottom, and then I put the shoes in the middle. So it's more organized in there. I can actually get things in and out. And so as far as the leak goes, I mean, I have a sheet down to make it more comfortable to walk in so I don't get splinters. See, that's the subfloor there. And then I have the linoleum is still good. So I have my kitchen still good. So what I'm going to do, because money is so tight, and I'm spending a lot of money doing this, dealing with, ripping out carpet and, putting new supports under, and I had a mold company come out. So I actually talked to a mold abatement company, a company that, deals with mold problems for a living. And they told me to take that one board out underneath. They said none of the other wood that they can see needs to come out, but this fridge is going to have to come out, be pulled out by an RV person, and anything that's like black or icky behind it, then that wood there will have to be replaced. So it doesn't seem really as bad as I would have thought, considering that every rain it has been leaking. And so it's amazing that I wasn't destroyed out of my home, with rot and mold. So, I mean, I've been keeping it up really nice, keeping everything really nice. And then out here, I don't know if you can hear me because it's really noisy next door. But out here, somebody gave me a chair and a rug, and then I gave them a little bit of money for like extra for the rug. That's going to go down where the sheet is. It's drying, and it's going to have to be completely dry. Plus, I might want to wait a couple days just to make sure that everything's kosher in there, and then the rug will go down. And I don't want to put anything too nice there. Like, I don't have money to buy like a nice new oriental rug or something. But even if there was something for like $30 or $40, I still wouldn't want to put it down, because that's like too nice to put on a dirty subfloor. And then someday later in life, when I have more money and can actually do the floor right and have a proper rug, I can do that. But this will do the job in the meantime. And then I've got that chair that I can kind of sit out on in the daytime. We had a windstorm that was really bad, because I had a no trespassing sign here. And it was like extreme wind. As you can see, the wind bent those things that was holding the sign up, and the sign is probably in the next town by now. So I have a rope putting my no trespassing sign up so that people aren't going to come in here and do wheelies and stuff in my yard like they were doing. And then the solar panel frame, I cleaned the solar panels because the grass pieces, they're going to block electricity from coming in, and there's so little as there is. And I've put I totally have maxed out my credit cards again, completely maxed out again, to get 2 more panels, because I just do not begin to have enough power because of all the clouds. And so doubling the panels would allow me, if I get an hour's sun a day, which sometimes that's all I get, that would double the power that I bring in and have to use. And when the leak thing began, we thought the only place it could be coming in, because I had the roof was just newly done, we thought it was the vent to the fridge. And if you cover the vent to the fridge, it's not going to bring in air. So what this really ingenious person thought up was to put this clothing tub like over this and caulk it, and put this over the vent, and then cut out the bottom. As you can see, cut out the bottom here. You can see underneath. Cut out the bottom. So this is an air intake, and then air can still get into the vent, but then rain. I'm not real crazy about having screws in my trailer like this, but then rain can't come in that vent, because the last the rainstorms have been really, really heavy here, and the ones that have been shorting out the ones that came from the roof actually shorted my fridge out. So my fridge went out, and it was out like about 12 hours before I found out about it and turned it back on, because it shorted the electric circuit board that turns on the propane. Up there's the vent, and that's the vent where it was leaking. So the vent is very over toward the edge. So some of my cupboards that don't go all the way to the back wall, they never got wet. It just came down the walls of the fridge and got wet under there. So that's kind of what happened with that. And this is ingenious. Even though that's not where the leak or the water generated, so I'm going to be keeping this, because the heavy winds, those 60 to 100 mile an hour winds, they are going to blow water in that we get, and when it rains, it's going to be really, really bad. So I'm going to keep this on here indefinitely. I think it's a good idea when you live in an area that's really, really windy. Like if you look at that and you see a vent thing, it's got a plastic hood. You really do need that kind of louvered or hood type thing to keep water out. It's just like an absolute must, unless you live in an area that's not windy. And all these southwest areas, they're extreme. They're just extreme, extreme wind. So unless you're in an area where you don't have the heavy, heavy duty hurricane type gusts, you really need it. So that is basically it for 7 months living off grid. It's kind of like I've had the domino effect. I got off to a bad start, and you know, it kind of pushed, and if I had it to do over again, I probably would have done the whole roof thing completely different. I would have taken it into a Tucson dealership and had the roof done there instead and gone that way, but I didn't, and so it's kind of the domino effect from everything kind of falling apart and continuing to happen. So, I mean, I'm still at it. People are like wondering like how I can continue with this, and maybe I should, you know, rent a room, get a roommate. Unfortunately, everything has smart meters on it. You know, like there's great roommate opportunities, but there's a smart meter on the house, and you can't opt out. So I really don't have that option. I'm kind of still with the trailer. And so it looks like it's going to still be able to continue to be livable. And it's just a really, really hard, stressful, long road. So that's basically what it is. And so I'm just going to continue like going forward on it. Also, the string lights, they're now up in the living room. They're hanging here. So it's really nice this way to have them up here. And one of the things I'm getting ready to do, or going to do eventually, is this canopy. It's really way, way too long. Way too long for, you know, on the floor there's a lot of leftover material. And when it was up in the bedroom, it was the same way. It was like I had it right up at the ceiling, and it did the same thing. It was too long. So I'm going to measure like both up there and down here and see. And then what I could do is cut off some of it and have this whole space around, and then make drapes and things. And on this side it's kind of musty. I don't know if I can save that, so I might just cut it off and throw that part away. But what's left that's not musty, I can, you know, maybe like make some shielding drapes to go on some of the windows. So I've got that plan, and I did have planned to make more pillows, but when I got sick the last time, I really didn't get to do that, and then as I was starting to get better, there was the water. So that's kind of it for 7 months living off the grid. It's been a little long, but I've had a lot happen, and I'm still going ahead with it. So that's it. So stay tuned for more. If you like, subscribe, comment, share, and have a great evening.